Hello students, welcome to Easy Limo Learning Simplified. My name is Mr. Stanley Umbogo. So dear students, welcome back again, and I believe that you're doing great wherever you're watching us from. And in the session that we are about to have, I'd like us to look at something under social writing, and that is writing emails. So first of all, we are going to look at what an email is, and again we are going to look at email address, that is how to create an email address, and the component of email address before looking at a very good sample that will help you improve on how to write your emails. So dear students, stay tuned. To begin with, when we talk about emails, these are short for electronic mails. So the E that we have there stands for electronic. So emails in full is electronic mails. So they are messages that are sent via a computer that is connected to the internet. So it means that for you to use emails, you must have access to them. You must have access to the internet access. So emails must be short and precise. On to the next thing that is very interesting, email address. So dear students, the first question that should come to your mind is what is an email address? So when talking about email addresses, an email address is what identifies an electronic post office box on a network where email can be sent. So here we are dealing with electronic post office box, but not the manual that is post office box. Um, where you can write letters and take to a post office so that they are sent either by vehicle or flight to another place. So usually there is no capitalization or spacing between the characters. When you are creating an email address, you must know that we do not have capitalization or spacing between the characters that are used, even if it is the first letter in that email address. It is not supposed to be capitalized or written in uppercase. So the next thing that we have here, dear students, are the component of email address. So we are going to look at what make the email address. So all email addresses have three parts. So the three basic parts are: the first part we have the username, then the second part we have the @symbol, then lastly we have the domain. So when asked about the three parts of an email address, talk about the username, number one, number two, the @symbol, and number three, the domain. So let us look at each. So beginning with the first one, that is a username. So username is the unique name that you select when creating your email. So it can be your real name or a nickname. You do not have to use, your real name. So you have got, alternatives. You can either decide to use your real name or go for a nickname. But if your name is if you are using a name that is common or shared a lot, you will realize that in the first attempt when you're creating your email, it will tell you that maybe someone somewhere is probably having the same username, and therefore you need to change and all that. So not necessarily changing, but you can add maybe numbers to it so that it becomes different. So an example is EasyElimu. So EasyElimu can be our username. So the next thing, that is the @symbol. So this symbol separates the username from the domain. When you insert this symbol, your email program recognizes the character and sends the email to the domain name that follows it. So let's talk about this domain. So we are told further that the domain is broken into parts. So we have the mail server and the top level domain. So the mail server is the server hosting the email account that you are using. So we have got email servers such as Yahoo, we have Hotmail, and we have the most commonly used one, that is the Gmail. Then talking about the top level domain, we have got examples of the top level domain. So they include, we have .com, .net, .org for organization, .edu for education, etc., etc. So that is, I mean, the two parts are what make the domain. So always remember that the domain is broken into two parts. So the mail server and the top level domain. So if we are to talk about the components of an email address, then we can talk about 4 components instead of 3. So earlier on, we mentioned that is the username, the @symbol, and the domain. But again, because the domain is broken into 2, then we can say that we have the username, the @symbol, the mail server, and lastly, the top level domain. So just to know that the mail server and the top level domain are what make or create the domain. So the next thing that we have here, dear students, is the email format. So before we look at the email format, we have got an example of an email address with all the components that we have discussed. So the example that we have is easyelimu@gmail.com. So easyelimu is our username. Then we have the @symbol. So after the @symbol, we have got the domain. So the domain is having both the mail server, that is Gmail, and the top level domain, that is .com. So the next important thing that we have here is the email format. So dear students, you must know that emails consist of the following parts. So the first part, we have the from field. So it is indicated that way, simply from. So there you write your own email address. That is the email address of whoever is sending the message. Then it is followed by the date. So here you indicate the date when the communication is made or was made. Then the next part, we have the to field. So it is indicated as to. So here you write the recipient's address. So the recipient's address is written here. Then the next part, we have the CC field, that is carbon copy. So under the CC field, we are told that we are supposed to add the email address of other people whose copy of the message should reach. Then we have the next area, or the next part, that is the subject. So under the subject, ensure that you write a short but accurate subject header. So the subject must be short. Use use few words. Then after the subject, we have the attachments. So under the attachments, dear students, include the document that should be attached if required. So in this case, you can attach you can attach different files, documents, images, links, and so on. So after that, after the attachments, we proceed to the greeting, that is salutation. So we are told that use proper salutation beginning with dear, then you proceed and write the name of the addressee. Then after salutation, there is now the message body. So when writing the message body, ensure that you get your point across without rambling. So it requires accuracy. Then after developing the body of your message, uh, there is what we call leave taking. So depending on your level of intimacy with the recipient, you can use phrases and words like yours sincerely, yours faithfully, yours cordially, best, your loving daughter, son, mom, dad, sister, brother, etc. Respectfully, your students, etc. So when we talk about level of intimacy, we are simply referring to the level of closeness to the addressee or the recipient. Then after that, that is after the closing remark. So it is the closing remark that we are calling leave taking in this case. So after the closing remarks, and the examples are there based on your level of closeness, you move to the signing. That is, you append your signature. Then after the signature, write your full name. So when closing your email, ensure that you follow that order, beginning with the closing remark, moving to the signature, then lastly your name. So here is a sample of an email written to uh, Brian Seng. So the email is from peterstanley@gmail.com, and it is sent to Brian Seng at yahoo.com. Carbon copy or a copy is sent to iannene@gmail.com. The date is 25th April 2024, and the time is 9 a.m. The subject is visit cancellation. And the message body reads, I am sorry that I will not visit you this coming Sunday as we agreed earlier on. Ian, our friend, has invited me for a literature setbook symposium at their school on the same day. He, however, has promised that we will visit you next Sunday, but one. All the best, Peter Stanley. So there is my closing remark, all the best, then my name follows. So the signature should be in between the closing remark and the name. Then there is something interesting or something that you must know, dear students. In an exam situation, you may be told to write, for example, an application letter and send it via email. In that case, you need not to write the addresses, but the email addresses, because the letter is not passing through the post office. So when you're told to write when you're told to write an application letter and forward it or send it via email, then in that case you will not require the physical address. You will not require the physical address for the post office, because this is now something that is being sent via that is a computer, by using the internet. So suppose you are forwarding that letter, then this is how you will write the address of the letter. So instead of the physical address, you'll use your email address, peterstanley@gmail.com, brandseng@yahoo.com, copy, sent to iannene@gmail.com. Then the date is 25th April 2024, time 9 a.m. Dear Sir. Then we now start writing our letter. Regards, application for employment. Then you write the message body of the letter. Then you close, and that is it. So, dear students, that brings us to the end of the session, and I believe that it has been a very interactive one. And remember to keep it easy, Limu. As always, until next time, bye.